let's go back to Buffalo before we put this thing to bed, at least for now.
Right.
Here's Brandon Beane talking about this challenge of replacing Stefon Diggs via available options in free agency, and we'll show you in a second there aren't many, or the draft. Here's Beane.
The years that Steph's been here, he's clearly been our one, right? I think we can all agree to that. I think it's more of a volume, a variety of guys. I'm not standing up here today saying, look, I've got another one to walk in the door, and we know we're still working through the cap. At 28, if all our first-round receivers are gone and the next guy is well into the second round, but we have other positions, we're going to take the other position. Like, we're not you still got to take good football players. And even if we don't get the player that everyone is looking for in April, it doesn't mean there's not other ways to do it. I would hope by now I'm going to turn over every stone, and our staff is to continue to look to add depth and competition to all those rooms so that when it's time to play, that we have a team we're proud of and that's going to go out there and give us a chance to win.
His role in the offense from a leadership standpoint.
The free agency options aren't great right now. Tyler Boyd, the one name that stands out the most. There are others floating around. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who came on in the postseason. Definitely. Had a couple of great catches.
Yeah.
Had one against the Bills. Remember that one where he kind of reached up and kind of half helmet, half shoulder pads? It's not an easy catch to make.
First play of the third quarter,
Had the catch that iced the game against the against the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC Championship. So he's out there. And I have dismissed the idea of trading for like a T. Higgins, but all of a sudden, because he's franchise tagged with the Bengals, and who knows what it would take to get him, and you have to pay him, and you have $31 million in dead money devoted to Stefon Diggs this year. But all of a sudden, Buffalo becomes an attractive destination for any receiver who has high-end talent who isn't currently happy where he is at the present time, if the Bills could somehow pull it off. Beyond the available free agents. Again, OBJ, I didn't mention him. He's out there. Michael Thomas, who had a great year in 2019, and injuries have kept him from doing much since then. But Chris, could you see? I mentioned Higgins. It seems like Devontae Adams is all in with the Raiders, even though we don't know who the quarterback is going to be. I just think once guys have a chance to digest what happened yesterday, you're going to have some guys thinking, man, I'd like to get to Buffalo.
I'll go be a number one
get
there.
A lot of balls thrown.
Yeah.
I'll look at what they have. I'll walk through the door as the number one guy, and I'll get 150 targets this year.
Hey, listen, I don't disagree with your thought there, right? And obviously, Brandon Beane, like you said, they're looking for all options. They're going to do whatever they got to do. They're not going to mortgage the farm and ruin the team just to get a receiver, though. That's what he's pretty clear about. But, yeah, it's situations like that you look, would they do something there? Now, it's the Bengals, right? And it's a team that, is semi kind of a rival of them and in their division. So, in their conference. So I don't know if they would do that necessarily right now. And I think the Bengals want to make it work with a T. Higgins. But, hey, how about a situation like out in San Francisco? Brandon Ayuk, right? That'd be one that I'd go, ooh, okay, wait, well, what's he asking for? What's the money? What would they trade him for? He might not be getting the offer he wants from the 49ers. Would he say something, to the Bills? That'd be one that I'd go, whoa. He might be waking up today going, hey, Mr. Agent guy, can you call the Bills and see if they'd be interested in me? That I get, right? But, hey, they're going to have options in the draft. It's a deep class. It's just about who falls to them at the right spot, or do they make that aggressive move. But I do think even late in the second round, there'll be a few guys there that you go, that's definitely going to help Buffalo out. Is it a superstar? Can they strike gold like a DK Metcalf or an A.J. Brown in the second round? I don't know about that, but I do think they can get a guy that can definitely help the offense.
Draft is clearly the way to go, though.
Yes.
You get caught up in the recognizable names, the guys with proven talent. There are so many great receivers coming out of the draft every year. Now, it's like the running back position because of all the 7-on-7s, all the passing that's done now at the lower levels of the sport. Receivers are ready to go. They need to find a guy they can plug right in. And I think as you do the evaluation, if you're the Bills, it's not what's his ceiling, it's what's his floor right now. What can we expect from him right now? We'll see what he develops into. We can't take a project, and maybe They can take one later. They need to come out of the first 2 days of the draft, the first 3 rounds. They need to come out with somebody that they're confident can go right in, is game ready in the NFL level, because they need somebody who may debut as their number one guy as a rookie.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree there, right? And I think that's where, they're going to have to do their due diligence on, studying this group and really looking at who, fits that mold, that void, whatever. But, even in round 2, they're sitting there at 60, right? Whoa. There's a guy on the board at 45. We didn't think he was going to be there still. Hey, that second round pick we got next year, this year's pick right now, we're going to move up, 15, 16 spots because we think this receiver's on the board. I think all that stuff can certainly be, viable. And again, too, we've seen receivers that are kind of talented that we view as, whoa, that guy's pretty good. And because of the reasons you explained and whatever else, they're still on the board late in the second. So that'll be interesting to go. But that was one thing that jumped out to me about the receiver evaluation. And I had my top 5 and those guys and all of that. But, man, one of the things I made clear on the podcast is, holy cow, there are a lot of guys that you go, yeah, he might not be a superstar, but he's a starting NFL receiver, and he's a guy that you wouldn't be shocked if he got 70, 80 receptions as a rookie and really helped out. But yeah, it's definitely everybody's going to be watching Bill's receiver move. What are they going to do for the next 3 to 4 weeks?
And it's the age-old chicken and the egg question, too. What makes a great receiver? Does the quarterback make the receiver? Does the receiver make the quarterback? That kind of takes us back to where this all started yesterday with Stefon Diggs raising the question of whether or not the person who pointed out that Josh Allen's success is not necessarily tied to the presence of Stefon Diggs. You sure? Diggs clearly knew what was coming when he posted that. And now we'll find out. Can you take any receiver who is marginally competent and able to, get off the line of scrimmage, run his routes, catch the ball when it hits his hands? Can Josh Allen make that guy into a superstar by just feeding the ball? I mean, look at Khalil Shakir last year. How much of that is him? How much of it is Josh Allen? And when you have one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, the receivers around you necessarily are going to be better than they otherwise would have been. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.